Okay. So originally, Blackpill and lookism, okay, that's what it's called. Lookism is the other term for it. Is a genetic predeterminist movement online, okay? And it starts off with like body dysmorphia that a lot of bodybuilders have in bodybuilding forums. And it was just basically something that was super niche for quite a while. You never finished this stream comp from yesterday?
How much do you know about me? I believe in the theory of the Dragon of Chaos so much that my daughter almost killed me.
Yeah, well. Based. Yeah, Trump's based. He's gonna save us. He's gonna make America great again. Yeah, it's real clear. Go around and find out. Yeah, you see, in 2012, I said it was 90% complete. Now, in 2025, 99% complete. Look at people say, how are you low-key good at accents? People say that my accents are just my voice, but like only slightly tuned. Like every time I try to do an accent, it's just like the same voice and it's just only a little bit tuned. I don't know. No shade, haha. It is. When I watched like a highlight of this, I realized that my impressions are just like not that good. The bomb. Boom. It explodes. Zoran, Mamdabi. I am gay. I am black. I am Muslim. I am a landlord. I am New York. New York City is not the Moscow of America, and is certainly not the Beijing of America. New York City is not the Pyongyang or Havana of America. It is the Istanbul of America.
Fartlo. People with a soul are shocked beyond words that mainstream media is manipulating and exploiting photographs of children with congenital diseases to push a lie.
Your Alex Jones impersonations are spot on. Some of them are better than others. Fatlo, Alex Jones, Trump are your best ones. What is this? The Aesthetics of Fascism. New video from Ben. What is Ben? This account is just called Ben. How was there not another account called Ben? Wait, is this Ben a Minute? Did he rebrand to Ben? Because I'm subscribed to him. That is crazy. You would expect a platform like YouTube that has been around for quite a while, you would expect there to be Ben. He probably bought it. No, he probably changed his name. He recognized that Ben was available. It's actually a bad idea to just name your channel just that, though. And I know I learned the hard way because my second channel is called Hasan, and it's virtually impossible to find it. It's bad SEO. It's really bad SEO. So he should probably change that. If I were him, I would change it. Scenes from Ben is his other socials. Do you take 0.5 milligram Fin every day or every other day? I take it every day. Oh, I will say someone has been like I was looking at, this is another thing that I saw on TikTok the other night. You know how, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find the actual account. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. The same shooting. There's an account called like Nietzsche that I guess like compiled all of my reacts.
What would you even call
to
this?
The quote unquote cookie verse and the black pill edits that people are doing, like BP edits that people are doing. And I looked through the comments and they are so bad. Hasan, I just ordered a chicken wrap and it says delivered, but it didn't come to Austin and I's house. Well, there you go. Sweet. Can't wait to get another free wrap, baby. Let's go. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, free food. I'm about to get extra gay. I'm eating. This is a day in the life eating bottom friendly foods challenge. Okay, free twink wrap. The new Doug challenge. It's so good. I am on the Christian. You have officially got me on board with twink wraps. And it's not even like a twinkish wrap, for the record. Make no mistake. I'm calling it a twink wrap, but it's not. It is slammed with protein. Okay. He hits that double chicken breast. 100%. And it's great. It's delicious. I've had it twice. I put alfalfa in there too. That was great tech. I got that straight from you. I gave you credit for it. Alfalfa in the wrap. Excellent move. Did you blast off? I did. But it's Saturday and there's not anything like super crazy happening in the news. So obviously people are not tuning in because they think I'm just going to be doing like fun shit and they don't like fun. Is alfalfa just sprouts? Yeah. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So they clipped all this stuff. They clipped all of my like comments. And I always thought like there's annoying people that are kind of dumb in the slop tuber universe. Okay. I thought there was like annoying people that were kind of dumb in the slop tuber universe. Oh my Lord. It turns out, I mean, these are just teenagers. Like it hit me. I read some of these comments and it hit me like the internet has created an environment where the most ruthless people, teenagers, can just rip you apart with the intensity that you assume is coming from a fully fleshed adult. Okay? But like when you realize most of these people are just like literally 14 years old, you're like, oh, this makes so much sense. Because like if you're like if you've ever, I don't know, gone to a park or something and you're playing basketball and there's like 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds and you hear them like make fun of someone, like make fun of an adult, they're like vicious, they're ruthless. You know what I mean? That's the internet. That's just what the internet has become. And it's something that we forget, which I think actually plays a role in the ongoing discourse about all of these countries now making ID laws so that everyone has to put their government ID and give it to like a third party so they can just like log on to Spotify or whatever, which I'm going to talk about today because it's crazy. But one of the things that's really funny is like these guys don't realize that the BP edit stuff that is now on TikTok that has become more mainstream started on the bodybuilding forums many, many decades prior when these guys were basically protein in their father's ball sack. You know what I mean? Like when these children who are probably like 14, 15, 16, when they were literally like not alive, that's when it actually originally started. And this is something that I've been obviously familiar with. And anyway, they're very mad and they don't understand like my commentary on this stuff. And they're like, this guy's an idiot. Like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get, like, BP edits. I can't be the only one that doesn't like how it's fallen down the alt-right pipeline. The cookie-verse was better when it wasn't political. Bro, BP was alt-right before it was ever cookie-verse. Exactly. It was. And I think a lot of people don't fully comprehend that, like, the BP edit stuff, which is Blackpill edits, for those of you who don't know. And Blackpill is, like, when you, when you... It's communities that are hyper focused on like male aesthetics and it's basically like anorexia Twitter but for young boys. Okay, it's a subset of incel culture, but now it's like super normalized, especially among teens. And I was showing this to like Cameron, and it's really interesting because like I mean some people are just like memeing about it or whatever, but then other people were taking it super seriously. Hasan literally will never get it. He just needs to stop. And it's like really funny because like I was there when these when these incredibly stupid memes were being cultivated in the dark circles of the internet. Peak relevant TikTok of how 14-year-olds are ruthless. Yeah, I mean, basically. But
you know what's crazy? It makes so much.
Yeah, Wisdom also clocked it too. A lot of people are starting to notice it as well, because I think it's like gaining more prominence. But there's a literal BP guy called Syrian Psycho. He's very pro-Palestine. No, I know. As is the case with everything on the internet, it of course it's like the Pepe frog. Okay, it starts off as like a cool thing, a fun little drawn, cute cartoon. Right wingers take hold of it. They start blasting it everywhere. And then it basically gets reappropriated back into like a reasonable piece of discourse. And then the neo-Nazis will like find a different version of it. Neo-Nazis will find a different version of that same thing and will blast that to like signal once again what they represent and what this actually represents. But ultimately, for those of you who don't know, because there's a lot of people who don't understand this internet culture stuff, and my job is to, you know, hold your hand and guide you through this process. A lot of the, yeah, you're just talking about how people steal AAVE and turn it anti-black. That's another very common meta as well, which Bill Burr also kind of funnily addressed on the Vulture interview that he did recently when he was talking about woke. The terminology woke. But anyway, let me get back to this thing, okay? So originally, Blackpill and lookism, okay, that's what it's called. Lookism is the other term for it, is a genetic predeterminist movement online, okay? And it starts off with like body dysmorphia that a lot of bodybuilders have in bodybuilding forums. And it was just basically something that was super niche for quite a while. But then it moved into like its own websites, and it moved into like Reddit and 4chan. And it turned into like Blackpill. The idea that you are cucked by your genes and there is no solution. There's no way that you can improve the way you look. There are varying degrees of lookism adjacent things out there. There are some people who I guess like the healthy version of this is just to be like, you should work out and go to the gym, and something that I always say, which is, you know, every man can be a 7, as in you have tremendous potential. You just have to unlock it. You just have to figure out like what works and what doesn't work, and take care of yourself and become more confident. But then it very quickly can move into a very unhealthy place where you start focusing too much on how you look, and everything turns into aesthetics, and everything becomes a problem. And then you start looking at other people who just have something that you don't have, and you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, and you get more and more mad. And at the extreme end of this, on the one side, you have the looks maxers, right? You gym max, you looks max, you you have to like make everything into I don't know, some sort of process, right? You can't just be like, take a shower, go to the gym, get a haircut. It has to be beyond that. You have to gamify it, exactly. But basically, on the scary tail end of this, you have you have people who spend a good deal of time talking about how impossible it is for them to actually make changes in themselves because they're just cucked by their genes. There's nothing they can do. There's no way to overcome their genetic predetermined slot. Okay? So for that reason, it's understandable that this is a very right-wing attitude. It's a very reactionary attitude to have. The notion that like you are not capable of changing, and that your looks are all that matters. And it is just like a eugenics adjacent, if not a directly eugenicist movement, right? The thing is, a lot of people start off with memes, and it's not supposed to be that serious, and then move into a scarier and scarier community. Okay? They find themselves captivated by this kind of thing, and eventually those memes, just like a term that you would use ironically, turns into something that you use unironically. Eventually those memes become like a thing that you legitimately believe. Okay? And I'm sure there are plenty of people, because this is an extremely online community at the end of the day, there's probably plenty of people that have even found themselves in communities like this one, and luckily were able to pull themselves out before it took a dark turn, or know someone that's gone down this pipeline. The BP edits are like semi-ironic online. The Blackpill edits are semi-ironic online. There were a lot of focus there was a lot of focus on like looks maxing, like the Syrian psycho guy, for example. And I noticed that this was like literally lookism shit and like Blackpill shit, but I don't think that they were like aware. They had probably seen this somewhere online. They weren't fully aware of like where this kind of information was coming from. But now it's become, interestingly enough, like a genuinely political space. It has found itself perfectly aligned with the right-wing politics, like not even just like regular Republican politics, but like straightforwardly right-wing, alt-right style politics, which is where it started to begin with. I mean, it started at like bodybuilding forums and whatnot, and it was like initially apolitical, but it became a something resembling a mass movement in far-right circles to begin with. Anyway, here's Wisdom, friend of the show, Wisdom, with a take on this issue, because he's also noticed it as well, because it broke containment. I think like the moment that it broke containment was like when that one guy, Clavicular, said something racist about Marlon. And after that, people were like, what the fuck is this? This is like really racist. And then some people were like, of course it's racist. It was always racist. This is like genetically predeterminist attitudes. They're, of course, reactionary. It's eugenics, right? And then in the aftermath of that, he just like doubled down on that statement by hanging out with Nick Fuentes, prominent neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes.
Much sense that the internet is toxic and there's so much like negativity and arguing and so much back and forth, whatever. There's literally kids everywhere on the internet. Like, think about the craziness of this. You can be like an adult, you can be 20-something, 30-something, 40-something, whatever. And then you can see a post that triggers you, but it was just made by a 14-year-old in the middle of second period who had nothing better to do. Yeah. No sense of morality, no sense of right or wrong, no real idea of the world, what's going on. And now they're just on here talking to you in your space. And you don't even know that. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why there's so much argument, so many beef, so much beefing, so much rage bait. I'm so sorry. I feel like you get to an age where the idea of rage baiting is so like beyond you. Think about what rage baiting is. I'm 24 now. The last time I would probably rage bait, I mean, not that I was ever a rage baiter, but like, I would probably would have been rage baiting when I was 17. At 18, I probably wouldn't have been rage baiting, maybe, but I don't know. That would have been the last time I would have rage baited. I'm too old to rage bait. I sound like an unk. Now I see why y'all call me unk. But like, I couldn't have the time to try to deliberately make someone mad. That's such a young thing to, I don't know if that makes sense. That's such an adolescent thing to do. I'm making myself sound prehistoric. I know y'all are gonna have a field day with this shit. I don't give a, I really don't give a. But isn't that crazy? Like, you could be right now getting worked up, flustered, having an argument in the comment section, going back and forth in your replies, all because you're sharing the same space as somebody who has second period, third period, fourth period. They're in class. They have to say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. They're driving you crazy on the internet. You're losing time, sleep, energy out of your day, because we all traverse the internet with people of all ages. Blows my mind sometimes. That's why, bro, I don't even reply to shit. But yeah, stay safe out there, chat.
Yeah. It goes beyond that, though. But that is a big part of it. You're just like, at a certain point, you got to realize, like, you're literally doing discourse with a child, and you think that this child is an adult because it's anonymous. Like, people, you don't know what this person's background is. You don't know what this person's, like, education level is. You don't know how old they are. You don't know what their lived experience is. Things that you could normally, this is something I've talked about a million times, as you guys know. The internet has this blanket, this like blanket neutrality, right? Where a fundamental part of interpersonal communication in the real world is lost, right? Because under normal circumstances, if someone was, if you were to imagine someone writing a comment but saying it to you in the real world, you'd be like, this is not how this would go, right? This is what I try to like explain to people all the time. Now, of course, I don't have the capacity to be able to comment like an anonymous troll, because I've been online for longer than a decade with my government name. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's a little bit different, but for many of you that are writing with anonymous accounts, it's like hard to comprehend. But that anonymity, when you are interacting with people, that anonymity is what, hold on, Noah's here. Okay. That anonymity online creates a very unique type of social interaction, a very unique type of social interaction that cuts away at a fundamental part of having a conversation with another human being. Okay, I'm going to talk about this extensively. Hold on one second.
I think anyone who's still in high school or below should have their own internet, like their own special internet for that. And then once they've reached a certain age, then they get on the main internet. I'm not saying the main internet is going to be any better. There's still stupid people everywhere. There's still grown adults who rage bait, which is sad. But like, that's my opinion. That way, everyone in high school and below can still vibe out, still have your thing, still like, it'll still be lit. Don't get me wrong, it'll be lit. But I feel like then we don't have to like, there won't be so much beef and negativity and rage and so much nonsense that manifests out of nowhere as often. Like, it would still happen. You get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm talking shit. Maybe I'm wrong.